Hi, my name is Shreyas Ganesh, and today I'll be explaining to you how to run my project for the Reddit simulator using the final project description provided. So this Reddit simulator is run on three different types of application scripts. The first one is the start engine.sh, which starts the engine, which is the Reddit heart. Right now, once you start the engine, it processes all messages using the Erlang slash Gleam actors. And once the Gleam actors are processed, it moves on to uh, take in messages from any client, either the web client or the API gateway. Once you started the engine, it takes in messages from the API gateway. The API gateway is our REST API HTTP based web server, which accepts HTTP requests from the client, sends the serialized messages to the engine, and gets back responses from the state machine engine and sends it back to the client in the form of HTTP responses. Now, our HTTP API gateway is written in using the Gleam Mist library to process HTTP 1.1 requests. The clients are written using HTTP and HTTPC clients, and we start two clients to show the functionality of our Reddit simulator. The clients send requests in terms of HTTP to the API gateway. The API gateway then serializes these messages to the engine and then sends them back to the client. Using the help command, we can see all the available HTTP messages like authentication, user user system messages, the other post creation, subreddit creation, and retrieval messages, interaction messages like creating comments, upvoting, downvoting, and unvoting, and sending direct messages using the DM feature, which can be used to send uh, direct messages to other users that we know of using the search command to find these users. All posts are also verified using public and private key RSA and asymmetric encryption. All commands sent by clients are also verified using a unique UUID per user, which is generated at the server end and then sent back to the client. These UUIDs are then signed via the client. As you can see, the public key is sent over per HTTP request to the HTTP API gateway. The API gateway then passes this to the to the server engine, which then stores the public key per user. This public key can then be distributed to any other users that try to find this user to verify any post created by that user or to verify that the user exists. You, the commands sent by users are also verified using the UUID that's signed using the user's unique private key. Therefore, injection attacks can be avoided using this. We registered another user now, and you can see the same response being generated by the server and sent back to the clients with the unique ID for that client. We can now search for the user and retrieve the user B's RSA public key, which is sent via the server, which stores it in memory and sends it back to the client when requested via the API gateway. This RSA public key can now be used to verify any post created by user B and also send back any messages like comments that are also created by user B. We search for the user A on the second client to do the same methodology of finding the public key. Uh, any messages, interactions between the two users can now be done without any hassle since they both have each other's public keys. We create a subreddit using the create subreddit command on client A. This subreddit also generates a unique ID per subreddit. All all of the data schema is handled using unique IDs. as a primary key, basically. Although it's in memory and not really done via SQL commands, but these unique IDs can be used to uniquely identify any resource on the engine per session. Once we search for the subreddit generated, we get back the unique ID of the subreddit, and we can then join the subreddit. Join is equivalent to subscribing to the subreddit uh, in a pub sub mechanism where any posts or comments created on the subreddit will be notified once we use the notifications command to register a user as a notifiable object. The notifications are handled using server sent events where any actions created on subreddits or to that particular user, basically, if they have subscribed to any subreddits or any other comments in the subreddit, they will then receive notifications for activities on subreddits that they have joined. They will also receive activities from DMs that are sent to them via the send DM or reply DM command. These activities can be monitored after the notification by an asynchronous actor that runs in the background and sends them a notification like so. The notification says that there has been a new post created in the subreddit MySub, which we just created using actor1. We can now get the subreddit feed for MySub and see that the post that was recently created by user A is now generated and on the client side for user B. This post is verified using user A's private key and then sent to the user and only then displayed at the user side. Otherwise, it's rejected as an unverified client. We can use a post unique ID to get the post and see the same results for the post sent directly via the engine and not indirectly via the get subreddit feed. The get subreddit feed would be equivalent to like clicking on the subreddit. But for now, we don't need to use that, and we can just use the get post via the post ID. Post and comment IDs are used to get comments and posts for particular posts and feeds. We can't really use a post name, so we have to stick with the inconvenient but only usable post ID for these use cases. We can also create another user now to show that the public key verification actually happens on post retrieval. We register another user C and we join the subreddit MySub to then create a post in it using the join subreddit command to join MySub. But since we don't know of MySub yet, we have to search for it first. And once we search for it, we have its unique ID and can then subsequently join the subreddit. After joining the subreddit, we can create a post on the subreddit that will then be notified to user B since they have been subscribed to the subreddit MySub. We create a post with the title C and a body X so that we can send a post over to the subreddit. We then get notified that a post has been created in my subreddit, and once we've gotten that notification, we can use the get subreddit feed to see what the post actually is. As we can see, during the get post, the the subreddit feed shows that it's not a valid post since we don't know user C who created that post. We don't know their public key. But we can only see the previously created post A, which was generated by user A, whose public key we do have access to. Now we search for C and retrieve their public key from the engine and retry the get subreddit feed command to try and see if it actually gets verified. And we can now see the post that was created by user C is a valid post that we have access to. All commands are also verified using the signed signature. on on each user's request to the engine. We can also send DMs to user B via the send DM command. Send DM command will allow us to send a message to a particular user whom we have already searched for in the previous action. If we haven't searched for the user, we will be prompted to use the search user command to get their user ID. Once we have a user, the we automatically get a notification if we've used the notifications command that the user C has sent us a message, and we can then reply to the user and have them see that a message has been sent back to them. This gives like a seamless way of getting notifications without having to do the get direct messages command every time. These are the basic functionalities of the Reddit client. All the client, server, and engine can be run on unique Erlang nodes on any IP by providing the IP address in the scripts as a parameter. We don't have to pass it, and as we seen while I started the program, it defaults to localhost. But if we pass it, then it will all automatically change itself back to whatever IP we need and will get connected across clusters and across nodes. This summarizes the use case of our subreddit and Reddit application.